Hello and welcome to Sega News Bits Live. This is a little impromptu because I was like thinking, should I do like a vloggy video? Should I do a like big like evening Swing and Report show podcast, which I haven't done for a while. But to be quite honest, this is all like still fresh in my memory, so I thought I would just jump on camera. I've got some stuff here, I got some photos, I got some video clips. So we'll try to spin dash, loop through this in like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something. But yes, this is the Sonic and Sega Fan Jam Remix Recap with me, Barry, and this was a fan-run event that went on just outside Atlanta, Georgia, in, I believe it was called Marietta, Georgia. I believe it was my first time in Georgia, to my memory. I mean, I guess I've been around enough now that someone maybe took me there without my knowledge. But yeah, it was a great time. I got to meet a lot of people that I've only met once or twice before at past events, like the New York Sonic Boom event. And there was also the Sonic 25th anniversary event. Unfortunately, George and I were not able to reconnect. George couldn't make it at the last minute, which would have been our second time together in the same place at the same time. But the good thing is there were a lot of other great people there. Patrick, who is a writer and contributor for Sega Bits, who puts on the Fan Jam event. Dakota was there. He's a contributor to the site. Let's call him a writer. He's a writer. And tons of other people. Like let's run through the photos. I think that's the best thing to do. So when I got there pretty early, people were coming in. And actually, here, let's do the kickoff first. So here is the kickoff video for the event.
Like in Sonic 3D Blast.
No!
Original way.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. SEGA!
All right. Tell us what Nintendo.
So that was the first thing in the morning. It might seem sparsely populated, but it got busy there fast. I think probably around noon was the most concentration of people throughout the entire event. And what the event consisted of basically was there was a main room where you would check in, and then there were 4 different rooms off of that. So there was a game room where people were playing games. There was a panel room where people were going to panels every hour. There was an artist's alley where people were selling merch and artwork and things like that. And then there was an autograph room where there were guests and YouTubers and voice actors and things doing autographs and meet and greets. Yeah, and it was a great time. It was I haven't been to a convention this small since like the 90s. And I really liked the size of it because it was all manageable. There wasn't anything that you felt you were missing out on. I went to Star Wars Celebration. I guess that was earlier this year, and it was a great time, but I missed like 70% of what was going on because there were like 6 panels going on at the same time. You'd miss something. But thankfully, I feel like I got to do everything I wanted to do, meet everyone I wanted to meet, and so I took a lot of pictures. So let's do an old school slideshow here. So first off, this just happened to be one of the first pictures I took on my camera roll. I saw that Treasure Hunting Sonic was there, and he had this Sonic 2 giveaway that was mushroom coffee and Eggman mug, and then this recipe. And I always wanted to get this recipe. There's nothing too special about it. There really should be like steamed Austrian goat's milk if they want to make it legit, but here it is. If you want to make Agent Stone's mushroom latte recipe, you just need to get these ingredients. So there you go. Next up, I met Ryan Drummond, voice of Sonic the Hedgehog from Sonic Adventure, through to Sonic Heroes. That was a lot of fun. I mean, it wasn't something I was like expecting to be doing, but then when I saw he was going, I was like, okay, I guess now I've met 2 of the Sonic voice actors, Roger Craig Smith and him. So I got his autograph. I have it here, actually. Here, let me hold it up. I'll switch to the main cam so you can see. So he said, I got to meet Barry. Yeah! Which I don't think is a line from, it's not a line from any Sonic game that I know of. He also signed, and I'll show it in a bit, my Sonic the Hedgehog like autograph book, which was pretty cool. And he was just a really nice guy. I got to, share my memories of playing Sonic Adventure. I told him that I played Sonic Adventure when we were in the transition of moving. So our basement TV was in the living room floor, or on the living room floor, and I didn't have a VMU at the time because I didn't know you needed one when I first bought the Dreamcast. So I was replaying the intro to the game again and again. So my memory was hearing his first line in the game, countless times, because every time I'd shut it off for the day, I'd return and I'd just have to start the game over with Sonic. Next up, this is Instant Sonic's booth, or I guess this is like the Artist Alley area. So he was selling this Sega CD, and it is a Sega CD. It's a CD that you can play on your Sega CD. It has a selection of tunes there on the back, and you get to look at pixel art, and it's super cool. I'm still digging through it. There's a sound test I haven't been able to access, which you can see here. So I need to get back in there and see exactly what I need to do to access that. But that was an awesome idea for a piece of merch to put out there. So good on him. And you'll see his costume here. I was not aware that this was him until like halfway through the event. But yeah, it's an insane Eggman costume. He's got everything going. It was just awesome. And then there's Patrick. And then, yeah, so that was a lot of fun. This is the game room. I actually spent very little time in here because I was like, well, unless someone like were to pull me aside and say, hey, let's play a versus mode of something, I wasn't going to be sitting and spending most of my time playing games that I could play at home, except for one, which I will play a clip of right now, actually. So there was a VR Monkey Ball, and it was first-person Monkey Ball Banana Mania, if I'm getting that right, and you would step on a DDR pad. And so I was playing that with Dakota, and I told Dakota I took some bananas from like a food cart outside, and I told him every time I touch a banana, I want you to throw a banana at my stomach. And I'm not joking. It was an amazing experience because you're in the game and you're just like kind of locked in looking at this screen. And when you touch a banana, you feel like a banana smacking you in the stomach. And it was, it sounds stupid, but like when you're in the mode playing the game and you feel that, it brings the immersion up a level. So yeah, it's the most realistic Monkey Ball experience I ever had. So let me play a very quick clip of me throwing bananas at Dakota so you can see just how amazing this is. Oh, I got to throw them at the front of you. So I might only be able to throw one. All right, go. See? Yeah, and when I was doing it, I was losing it. I think I was yelling too loud. And that's a sign of me like actually really being into something when I'm like, whoa, because it was amazing having these bananas just touch me as they touched me in the game. It was next level stuff. I don't think MetaQuest can ever. I don't think Facebook can ever emulate that. That you can't. It can't be done in this sort of environment. You have to have someone manually throwing them. So that's the game room. This is the autograph hall. It looks pretty empty now, but all those tables filled up. This was first thing in the morning. So there was the Sonic and Tails R people. There were a lot of like YouTubers and collectors. On the back wall, there was the Shenmue voice cast, and then there were some, I want to say Archie, but I guess Archie and IDW Sonic artists were in the back there. Tracy Yardley and I am blanking. I think she's a colorist for it. I'm sure someone will say in the comments, but I didn't make it over to her booth. In fact, I think her stuff like sold pretty quickly. But Tracy was there well into the evening, and I got to actually go over there and just chit chat with him and treasure hunting Sonic. And I finally got to tell Tracy just how insane the 2014 New York Sonic Boom event was. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but it was a mess. And so I was like, was it a mess for you too? Because it was a mess for me. But that was just great. That was a lot of fun. Next we have it's almost like the same room. Look at that. Boom, boom. But this is the Artist Alley. I bought some really cool things. So I'm going to actually jump back to the main cam here and show off some of my artist goodies that I picked up. So I did not feel like I wanted to buy any prints because they would probably get damaged. I didn't bring a poster tube. I actually just bare minimum, like carry-on luggage. So I got these really cool stickers. So there's Gum, there's Beat. This is my favorite one. There's Professor K. And then I think this is from the same artist. It's like a shiny one. It says Real Gamer, and it is the McDonald's LED toys. And I believe all of these came from Jovi and Jup, Jovial Knight and Starbased. There, so you can see there. And I believe they did the artwork as well for the event. So you'll see a lot of this on the little paper goods that they were passing out for people. And I think even on the here's the content creator badge I got. Look, I make content, but like that says it all. You know, you got to put Opa Opa there if it's a content creator. God damn it. I didn't need to say god damn it. Why did I do that? Fuck. Next up, I love these. I really wanted to buy art prints from him. Maybe I'll hit him up. And I have his business card, but not on me. It's initials JMV. He did this absolutely awesome Opa Opa sticker. He had a ton of stickers, a ton of Sonic ones. I opted for Sonic and Metal. I really like these. But he had these great art prints too. And he is the guy who did the Opa Opa shopping in the parts shop, but everything were like action figure. Like all the parts were on the wall. Like he was at Target looking at the toy section. And he said this was a piece of art he did back in like 2018. And he recently posted it to Twitter, and it just blew up. And I retweeted it at the time, and I think Persona Sama loved it too, who is a big Opa Opa fan. So that was really cool to see his work. And I think after all this, I'm going to go back and try to look up the artists, see if they sell their prints and they could ship it, just because I think that would be a lot easier for me. What else do I have here? Oh, this is the best. This is, I think, one of my favorite things I picked up. So this is called Sacking Casinopolis, a Bonanza Brothers fan book by Polly Koberger. And I won't spoil the whole thing, but it is I guess you call it a doujin, right? Like a fan comic. And it is the Bonanza Brothers pulling a heist at Casinopolis in Sonic Adventure. And there are references to Streets of Rage, Nights into Dreams. So it's like it definitely plays up on the whole All-Stars like interconnected universe of these characters. And in the back it is said that this is a project. I'll show you that. This is a project that originated back in 2014 when I originally ran a Bonanza Brothers roleplay blog on Tumblr. Readers could ask Robo and Mobo questions, and I used the answers as springboards for longer episodic stories that would span multiple days and entries. Sacking Casinopolis was one of my story arcs. The original was written in a script-like format with black and white illustrations shown below. So you can see those there. That's how they originally were. And the plot was similar, although the villain of the story was the Tei Corporation from the anime instead of Mr. X. So spoiler alert, yes, Mr. X is the villain in all of this. But you can find these online. I'll put a link in the description below. There's only a few copies left. I think there's 3 for domestic, like U.S. people, and then I think there's like 9 for international. It might be less, though, because as I put this out, the creator of, I think it's called OKKO, that cartoon, liked and retweeted my things, so these might be gone. I don't know, but you can check them out. Very cool. One of my favorite things I picked up, and I like the art on the back too. There. What else should I cover here? Let's see. So let's jump back into the photos. So that was the Artist Alley. Okay, so this is the big one. So I was given the opportunity to interview the Shenmue voice actors. We had Liesl Wilkerson, Corey Marshall, and Eric Kelso. Corey and Eric were in Shenmue 1 and 2, and Corey was in 3 as well. Liesl was in Shenmue 2 and had a cameo in 3 with Joy. And it was a real honor and delight to talk to these three for an hour. It was just like one of those pinch me moments as a Sega fan. Like, I don't know, like you're kind of sitting up there talking to them, and in the back of your head you're thinking, I was one of those kids who was playing Shenmue in high school, and I'd hear these voices. These are characters I know and love, and here I am now 20 something years later up on stage, like asking them questions, and I'm like, what did I do to get here? And it's, guess, I don't know, like persistence. I don't know, because I'm usually pretty down on myself in terms of like, I don't know, like where I'm at within the community. Like, I'm not doing big filling rooms where it's like, come see Barry, and I don't want that. I want to be there with the people who really made an impact, and those are the developers, the historians, and the voice actors. So it was just a true honor to be up there with them. I like this picture. It looks, if you cropped it, I think it would be a really good one for a story, an article, or something. And this seems small. This is just as we were starting, but all those seats filled in. We had people standing in the back, and by the end, it was a full house. It was really cool. And here are the three of them at the end of the panel. And yeah, in the comments here, we have Tom Fun saying Shenmue 2 had English voices. I don't remember that. And yeah, you'd be right to not remember that, because Shenmue 2 released only to the PAL Dreamcast in Europe and the Japanese Dreamcast in Japan, and it had the Japanese voices. The English voices were not included until Shenmue 2 hit the Xbox. So I got them to all sign my copy of Shenmue 2, which many fans call like Shenmue 2X. So that's very cool. I had them sign that. I also had them sign, since I'm talking about it. Oh, I got this, Lisa did this as well for Sarah Bryant. She plays Sarah Bryant, and Eric Kelso plays Jackie Bryant. But this one I had to be super careful with bringing along, because this is my coveted Yu Suzuki autograph. So there's Yu Suzuki, and like, if I'm going to have anyone put their autographs next to him, it's going to be the cast of Shenmue and Shenmue 2. So that's really cool. And I don't know who else to put in here. I guess maybe other Shenmue voice actors, but I'm going to be super picky. I'm not going to go like, oh, let's put a YouTuber in here. Like, you got to surround Yu Suzuki with, like, cream of the crop. You can't just put, some guy who did a retrospective on him. What else do I have here? I had something else cool. Let's jump back into the pictures, and maybe it will, oh, you know what it is? I remember what it was. So the panel itself, it's online, but it's going to be like officially online, I guess, tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. I'll post the link to segabits.com, like as a news article, maybe tomorrow. Waiting on that. I have it on my hard drive, so whatever. Come at me, FBI. You can take it. You can't take it. And the book, it is the read-only memory. Someone in the comments was asking. It's the Sega Dreamcast Collected Works from Read-Only Memory. And I think it might still be available, but this was the Kickstarter one where Yu Suzuki autographed it for like an extra $40 or something, which was a steal in my opinion. But yeah, so the panel happened. After the panel, we did a few cool things, so you can check it out on, I believe it's the Sonic, and it's like SS Fan Jam on Twitter. They recreated this photo that they took when they were in the recording booth, or at the studio. So these three haven't been together. These three have not been together since they recorded their dialogue. So that's why this was such a big deal. But yeah, Patrick, he recreated a photo of the three of them together. So you can see that on Twitter. Also, there was a fun little moment, and I have it here recorded, where Corey had a gift for Eric, which, I'll let him tell the story. So you can check out the video here.
I will help him to sign.
Okay, you ready?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, Eric, we did a thing together back in the day, and you were still in Japan. Okay. And an amazing fan gave us something, but you weren't there to have it. So
You're gonna kick me in the nuts.
no, I contacted him.
I'm
I contacted him and said, hey, you need to give Eric a Shenmue
Oh,
Sega.
cool!
And yeah, so I wanted to make sure that you had one
Because you had one that I liked.
and you liked
Yes.
And I said, man, I want one of those. And you said, I can't get you one. It was custom made.
it. It's custom. It was.
It is custom.
And there you go. I contacted him and got it custom made for you again. But check this out.
Right on.
He didn't stop there.
No, he didn't.
He went and made
God.
a shirt for us, and I wanted
Let's
to
just
show
say I do not have one of
you. I
those.
know. So check this out.
Fun fact.
It is our characters.
The bromance continues,
With Kelso.
people. The bromance continues.
Well, that's cool.
Isn't that a great shirt?
So yeah, same guy who made that hat made that.
Kelso and Marshall. Right on.
Isn't that cute?
Very cool.
So yeah, I have one.
I
and you
love
have one.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, two. We got two.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Nice. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Thank you. And please tell that person. I will.
So that was just a fun little moment that I was able to capture. They also recreated a scene that the three of them recorded together in Shenmue 2, and someone else has that footage. I'm sure they'll put it up online at some point. But all in all, awesome experience. Full panel will be up soon on YouTube. You can check it out if you haven't already. Next up, so this was another great experience for me. So I was able to introduce Ken Horowitz, who, if you are in the know of Sega internet happenings, Ken Horowitz is the proprietor, the founder of Sega16.com, probably one of the longest running Sega Genesis, Mega Drive fan sites. They've since expanded into Master System, Game Gear, Dreamcast, Saturn, any like Sega console they cover. And Ken is a historian. He has written some fantastic books. You can see them here. And so I kicked off the panel. Again, I'm hoping that'll be online soon. You can check it out. But it was just a fantastic panel about the importance of preservation. Not just video game preservation, but history preservation. So there's so many people that he talks about that only gave one interview before they passed away, or he was the first one to reach out to them, and no one else had talked to these people, these super important people in gaming. And I mean, I'm not. Should I get? So my thing is, I feel like we spend so much time putting these people who like review video games and make like funny videos about video games on pedestals that we fill a room to see them. And then there's people who are like the actual people who made the games and no one's talking to them. No one's putting them up on the pedestal. And I'm like, what's more important? Some dude in his like 20 or 30s in 2022 who made a video shitting on a game from 20 years ago, or the person who actually made the game? So like, I feel like more people need to be of that mindset where you understand the importance of not only the video games, but the people who made them and how they are, in many cases, dying out. This is an old industry. These are games that took, 70s, 80s. That was a while ago when you consider that these are people who have now since retired. Not everyone lives until their 90s, So it's Ken really imparts that bit of important information in his talk. He also tells some really great stories, so I'm looking forward to that going online so everyone can see it. I am a huge proponent of everything Sega 16 does and everything Ken Horowitz does. George and I often cite him as kind of like the father, like the father to our son. Like Sega Bits would not be around if not for Ken Horowitz. So he was nice enough, I'll show one of them here, to sign my book. Thanks for keeping the Sega vision alive. I'll show the other one too, because this was funny. He was signing it, and he just stopped, and he was like, I don't know what funny thing to write. And I was like, well, think of something. And we sat there for a good 5 minutes before he said, thanks for taking Sega's history to the next level. So that was great. So I'm very happy to get these. I'm very, very happy to meet Ken in person, finally. What an awesome guy. He himself is just a great part of the whole Sega history, but the fact that he is doing his part to expand Sega history is just, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So going back to the photos here, here's Ken, and then there's, I think, another picture coming up that I really like, where he's like, there's Ken. Oh well, But I loved, he had these little moments where he talked about like getting his kids into Sega games and very funny stories there. So again, I'll let the panel itself speak for itself. Next up, we had the costume contest, another video I'm hoping will be online very soon. These are, let me move my face because I'm covering one of the people. These are, I think, everyone who took part, and there's other photos online where you can see everyone's faces, and again, there's that big video that's going to go up of the costume contest. You can see everyone strike their pose. The winners are actually right there. The two, wait, can I zoom? Yeah, that's Pseudoshell on Twitter. She does fantastic Yakuza Like a Dragon Judgment fan art. So that's her in the white and her friend in the black there, and they are playing Like a Dragon characters. I'm not too well versed. I know the series, but I don't know every character's name off the top of my head. But they were the winners. Yeah, I kind of whispered in Patrick's ear, and I was like, let's pick them. They have the best costumes. Second place was Altered Beast here. I love that costume. I like Altered Beast wearing a t-shirt. And also Altered Beast walked around like a woman. Like, well, you'll have to see the video because like it was like very dainty, and I was like, oh, this is like a feminine beast. It was pretty fun. And then third place was Instant Sonic there as Dr. Eggman. And everyone just did a fantastic job. You can see Honey there. We have Eggman. We have Shadow. We had Three Tails. We have just kind of hidden there, but I believe that's actually one of the fan artists. I think that might be either Jovial Knights or Starbase there in the red. And then the yellow was, I believe his name's Mr. Din, and he's actually a Sega Talk listener. At the very end, I was leaving, and in the elevator, he's like, "Are you Barry?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." So that was really cool. I met a few Sega Talk listeners. There's Hatsune Miku, which I was really hoping I could like pull some of those Hatsune Miku Japanese pizza commercial quotes off the top of my head. I think I was able to say like, "Oh, isn't she cute?" Those are the best commercials. But yeah, great costume there. There is this fantastic Sonic there. I actually kept, and I'm not going to show it because their real names are on it, but this is the cosplay show list. But in the back there, and there's more photos of him online, it's Kamen Rider X-Aid Sonic Gamer. So it's like a super, not just a deep cut, but like a Kamen Rider crossover Sonic costume. And then fittingly, I told him to stand off to the side, is Ugly Sonic, because you got to keep him from the Chip and Dale movie, complete with the sunglasses. So, yeah, all in all, fantastic work from all the cosplayers. Everyone's a winner, except for the people who actually won. But no, I absolutely loved all the costumes. Great job. And I took this picture when I was walking to my car to get something. I just thought it was really funny. So upstairs was this fancy benefit dinner with all these fancy people, and downstairs was the Sonic and Sega Fan Jam, and they closed the stairs so that we would not walk past them, because there were funny moments where it was like an elderly gentleman in a tuxedo, and then like, a girl dressed as like I or something. So, but yeah, just the duality of man right there. Getting near the end. Yeah, this is the end. So, as we were cleaning up, I took some very high-quality cosplay pictures of me as Columns 3 guy, who I also was the host as. I was Columns 3 guy hosting the cosplay contest in my cosplay, so it's pretty meta. But I'm pulling off some of the poses that the real Columns 3 guy pulled off in the print ads for those for that iconic game. And here's the classic pose. I took my glasses off, so I actually could not see at this point. But yeah, that, I believe, does it for the... Oh, there we go. So the last picture is myself there, Patrick, and Dakota. So the Team Segabits right there. So all in all, just a fantastic time. Great seeing those guys again. Great meeting so many voice actors. To be like a part of Shenmue history is awesome. Like if you're a longtime listener of my stuff, you'll know that I'm a huge Shenmue fan. But I rarely dip my toes in the more obsessive side of fandom, so it was, I don't know, maybe I'm now a Shenmue obsessive, like the others, because I was there for the Shenmue voice actor reunion. But it was just it was just an awesome time. Oh, and I did not show the Sonic autograph book. So what I managed to do is get a few more autographs. So this is my big Sonic autograph book. So I got Hyper Potions there to sign it. And I got to chat a little bit about how his song was in the Sonic movie. He wasn't aware that was going to happen. He just signed stuff away saying, like, you can use anything, but they weren't aware that they were using things. And then I've got my second Sonic autograph right there. I got good old Ryan Drummond in the book. So now I have 2 Sonic voice actors in there, so that's pretty sweet. And yeah, I think that will just about do it. So thank you so much for watching. I had a fantastic time going to the event. If I did not name drop you here, I didn't forget you. I'm just bad with names. But we're coming back, Sega Talk, next week. We're going to be talking Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage. So be there. And I'll see you next time on Sega News Bits Live. Bye.